Sometimes you're living your life and getting through life is the purpose. And we don't need to be overly focused, because again we are programming an RAS, your reticular activating system, to evaluate everything you're doing. Is that purposeful? Is that not purposeful? Well, the purpose of life is living, and you're alive, you're breathing. So you're already meeting the purpose, you're fulfilling the purpose of life. Sometimes you may never find that in the way that satisfied you, but that doesn't mean there was no purpose to your life, or that you didn't live a purposeful life. Both lives are purposeful. If we exist, we have a purpose, or we are meeting the purpose of life. Okay, so that's what I want you to keep in mind. Your emotional energy comes from these kind of conversations that you have with yourself. If I say to myself, I can't see the purpose, I don't know if I'm passionate about this, I don't know if I can see that, then your emotional energy tends to be down. Our motivation doesn't come from outside, it comes from within us first.
First of all, I would like to thank Manisha ma'am for such an interactive presentation and session. My question would be that as the science framework, which is a very beautiful framework that she has mentioned in the presentation, in that, first of all, I would like her to throw some more light on emotional energy aspect. And the second thing is that that is the more deep question is that suppose if we want to reinforce a habit by using this science framework which is not aligned with ourselves. So I'll give you an specific example about myself. Like I live in a Jammu and Kashmir state. So in our state there are opportunities in government sector, or there are opportunities in tourism sector, three, four broad sectors. There are only three, four broad sectors. Not There are not much more diverse sector like in other states. It is not an industrialized state. So if any person who has a passion, doesn't have a passion in these broad sectors, but still he want to pursue those, considering lack of opportunities, or simple question would be, can be able to force himself using this framework to develop discipline into fulfilling something, or it should be like in movies, like you say that they have given us something like कि आपको जो भी मतलब you need to identify your passion. So the simple question is, if one wasn't able to identify his passion throughout in his whole life, so can he still be able to succeed in life using forcefully, or use these types of frameworks like science framework that you mentioned?
So I think first of all I can do away with the word forcefully. I mean, there's nothing forceful. You can and you cannot. You want to, you don't want to. You use it. And second, my view of the word passion is it's a very loosely used word. Passionate about it, find your passion, find your purpose. Sometimes you're living your life and getting through life is the purpose. And we don't need to be overly focused, because again we are programming an RAS, your reticular activating system, to evaluate everything you're doing. Is that purposeful? Is that not purposeful? Well, the purpose of life is living, and you're alive, you're breathing. So you're already meeting the purpose, you're fulfilling the purpose of life. But if you want to direct your energy towards some things, do I find fulfillment, let's say, doing social activities in the government job? Where will my interests lie? All of those things are things we discover over a period of time. Sometimes some people discover them early, sometimes little later. But irrespective of this question of am I passionate about something or not, that was never a question a generation ahead of us asked. Because then the goal was simple: survival, earn money, get your family, get food on the table, live. India wasn't a land of opportunities the way it is today. It is different. Still have our challenges. So look at your life first. Set the right philosophy for life. Choose that. Now, social media, Instagram, online, you have multiple things being thrown around, and then we end up either getting confused or questioning. Right? So, basic purpose. What is my purpose of life is different. What do I want to do with my time here? And sometimes you have to waste a little time to find out what is worthy of your time. That's also okay. Sometimes you may never find that in the way that satisfied you, but that doesn't mean there was no purpose to your life or that you didn't live a purposeful life, right? The framework is for you to bring focus to things you want in life, and that allows you to zone into whatever it is that would give you satisfaction. Now sometimes you win those, you complete that, and you discover, oh, I like this, but I really wasn't my purpose. In my entire work experience, I have worked from play school to corporates. I've been a play school teacher, I've been teacher, I mean all kinds of things I have done bit in the first 10 years of my career before I came to settle down with what I'm doing. Okay. And that's been the journey. There are some people who took a one job and completed it till the end of their life. That was a journey for them. Both lives are purposeful. If we exist, we have a purpose, or we are meeting the purpose of life. Okay. So that's what I want you to keep in mind. Second, if you say only these opportunities are available, then you may not be open to, or your brain might not see what new is coming up next. A lot of times new opportunities get missed because we don't even see them as opportunities, because in that moment we weren't open to them, right? There are limitations that exist in every environment and challenges that are very known about them, but beyond that is where the imagination comes in terms of opportunities and how we use it, right? And the world is full of those kind of examples also. I keep thinking I've never got one of those ever in my head. I'm doing all the regular stuff. I don't have that. I've not hit that nail which says, oh, I'm going to change the world with this thought. But that's okay too. I don't have to in order to exist. So your purpose of life is what you say is your purpose of life. Okay. And sometimes, like what Tushant was talking, it's surviving in the jungles, just surviving.
Second question was about emotional energy that you have
Right.
mentioned. Can you explore?
So your emotional energy comes from these kind of conversations that you have with yourself. If I say to myself, I can't see the purpose, I don't know if I'm passionate about this, I don't know if I can see that, then your emotional energy tends to be down. Our motivation doesn't come from outside. It comes from within us first. And yes, the environment can contribute and people can encourage us. And it's easier when there is group supporting you and having similar kind of goals that can motivate you to push yourself harder, right? But at the same time, that's not the only way. It is also what I need to provide for myself. Am I providing the right mental environment? Imagine if you have to walk with a chain tied, like two heavy chains tied on your feet. That's you with your negative beliefs. You got to set yourself free, and then get your, imagine now walking with the Nike latest comfortable shoes, how much more that will add to your speed. That's your positive self empowering beliefs that add to your movement and journey in life. So emotional energy comes from how what I think and what I believe in. Now we cannot eliminate negative beliefs, but we can shift our focus. We can develop alternate positive belief system and train our brain to now become more hopeful and optimistic, and of course we take better actions then. That's how we manifest. Yeah, does that make sense? Thank you. That was a good question. I'm sure a lot of people will find value in it.
Thank you, Abhishek, sir, for joining us. Ma'am, I'd like to ask a question. The reticular activating system that you mentioned about, does it get affected by our dreams or the other way around? Do our dreams affect the system or
It doesn't
can
care
we
about
manage?
the quality of input at all. If it's a dream which bothers you, it will just cut it out, suppress it. If it thinks that it's going to bring something, it will bring into your awareness. Its job is like that of the gatekeeper.
If I want to manifest the opposite of nightmares, I mean, what if I want to manifest good dreams?
Visualize good dreams. That tool of visualization and seeing good dreams, or seeing that, knowing that I can. So now it's like, oh, I get bad dreams. I always do. Or it's like primed to remember them. So now you can affirm that when I sleep soundly. I remember only, the good dreams.
It can change your what is collected in your subconscious
I
brain,
don't know
basically.
about that. I don't have evidence studies that I can, but I do believe that you can program or reprogram as you change your conscious mind with awareness. You can reprogram what goes on in the subconscious and unconscious as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Geeta, you
Uh,
have a question. You said, but we need to try to fulfill passion. Well, you can if you want to. There's no demand. There's no, God's not going to say, oh, you can't come back to my heaven if you haven't fulfilled your passion. Please go back to the earth. Doesn't happen like that. So our passion, there's not a like you have to fulfill your passion. You don't need to. You can if you want to. And that's not a condition of being alive. That's a condition of you choosing to. It's not even a condition of worth. People who have not fulfilled their passion are, no, that's not. That's just your choice.
And there's a question from Prerna Sharma, and it's a very funny question, but I really want to know what you would suggest. So, ma'am, whenever I try to do something to lose weight, I don't know, ma'am, why, but some problems automatically come. Suppose if I go for morning walk, then from the next day itself, बारिश शुरू हो जाता है और सपोज किसी डेथ हुआ और व्हेन आई जॉइन जिम कुछ ना कुछ होके मेरा कंटिन्यू हो नहीं पाता है एंड आई नो कंटिन्यूसली थिंक दैट मैं जब भी कुछ करती हूँ मेरा कुछ ना कुछ हिंड्रेंस आ जाता है सो मैम वाई माय क्वेश्चन इज हाउ डू आई रीप्रोग्राम माय ब्रेन विदाउट अबाउट दिस
Yeah, so you can see that you have a very strong belief मैं जब भी कुछ करती हूँ कुछ ना कुछ hindrance आ जाता है, right? Now in your life you are doing many more things other than gym and walk also ना, वो तो successfully आप कर रहे हो, but your brain is not recording your success in many things that you have been able to continuously win over, but constantly looking at, oh, I failed in this, and setting up the failure loop for you, right? So what if one day it rained? Walk in the house, do that visualization which we did in the exercise. What will I do if it starts raining? What will I do if some problem comes up like this? Oh, I can go for a walk in the evening. Oh, I could just walk in the house, like a bear who's in the cage. You could just keep going up and down. I'll do 15 minutes. If it's 7 a.m., I will walk. If it's 7 a.m. alarm rings, I'll get out from the bed. So first starts with empowering yourself with those thoughts, and every time you're seeing success, say you did it this time or you did good, and then keep building on it from there, right? So can you see that you are actually successful in many things and you can apply the learnings from that to this area of your life? But you can't do that if your negative programming stays there. So start with some positive affirmations. I know how to do many things well and I can learn to be successful here too. Start with those kind of internal conversations. Does that make sense, Prerna? So if you see between thoughts and bad habits, thoughts and habits, if we just start cleaning that up, your pathway to success, setting it up for the manifestation. By the way, I also do a lot of work which is in the like heal your life space. You can heal your life. Louise's work, which is based completely now. She's taken a lot of the scientific work and turned it into very simple work around affirmations and manifestation. There's also the forgiveness work that I spoke about. It definitely frees up so much of your emotional energy and things which are locked inside you. The minute you are free, what you notice, what you start seeing, how you start dealing with life changes. And then it looks like, oh, wow, I'm having some amazing results. Some manifestation thoughts to calm, or maybe affirmations. Okay. So can you put a thought which bothers you, and then we can convert that? And if you'll notice that you are calm most of the times and sometimes I'm triggered, you can start with that. We are bothered by, if the fact is that it's not like you're triggered all the time or you're not calm all the time. Start noticing. The affirmations also need to feel more real to you and more connected and acceptable to you. If they are something completely, I'm calm and I handle everything efficiently, yeah, it's a good thing to begin, but you may take a little time to reach there. To start with, I'm calm in these spaces and I'm not able to be calm here. I can learn to be calm. Calmness is a way of being. I can slow down. As I slow my breath, I have more control over my body. As I start understanding what triggers me more, I gain more control over myself. As I rework and relearn how to think more positively about myself and how I handle things, I gain more confidence. And that's the most challenging part sometimes when we have them, because we can't, family members means that's in your environment. And sometimes before one trigger is down, you have one more available for you to get triggered. So yeah, but separate out. See if you can take some maybe individual support as well if you need to, so that you are able to see that you are not in the control of what they do or say. Right?
I would say, yeah, I thought I was.
Yes.
It's like stimuli from people. No, you don't feel that stimuli. Like you just do not get affected by their presence or whatever. Like so,
No,
sometimes that has to be done
sorry,
with
so
family members.
I'll correct you there. You will get affected, but you choose how you're going to
You will-
respond there or what you're going to, because it's your
Exactly.
programming, no? It's your belief. It
Right.
will go like this. But do you want to go with that? Or do you want to be with what you believe or how you hold yourself? That's the choice.
Man, just like pain is something that actually happens in here rather than it happens physically, but then the physical part is a fraction of a second, and then it's in here.
Hmm.
So how you get affected by people is also like sometimes pain, not physical, but it is there
Yeah,
inside, and
absolutely.
you can choose to have it under your control, like not get
Process,
affected or
yeah,
not
and
feel that pain.
process that pain. If it's a family member, then you've
Process
collected.
that.
Then you need to do some work to clean out that energy within you.
Thank you. Is not talking, Geeta ma'am is asking.
I don't know how that would work because your problem is not them. Your problem is what's happening inside the head. That won't stop now if you don't talk also. You will continue to have that chatter in your head, which is using your energy. So that is your internal resolution that you need to arrive at. I think counseling or speaking in that kind of a space can be helpful in a situation like this. Because if it's a family member, then it's just buried under that no talking, but the situation hasn't changed. Okay. Meditation helps you to definitely calm down the energy, but it doesn't solve the problem internally for you. Yeah, Abhishek has suggestion saying that setting boundary might be a solution, but then I would say that unless I know the problem more in detail, I don't know
Right,
what could be really helpful in this situation.
right. Some situations can be very unavoidable. So
Right. So what would work would be there, but I suggest that you look for what could be a inner resolution for you or what you really need. And that's why I suggest that talking to a counselor would be something that could help you find your way through.
thank you for joining us, Geeta. I think we've covered all of the questions, the chat box, and no one is using the raise hand tool anymore. And thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here, and thank you everyone for being here. You've been engaged, you've been asking questions, and I hope what I shared added value to you. And I look forward to more learning and growth along with everyone.